Hi, and welcome to the Money Matters podcast. This is the first episode, and our goal is to ensure that you understand everything when it comes to money. So, yes, it is really difficult sometimes when you hear about things like financial literacy and financial terms. And I know that sometimes when you're not like a business student and all those things, you feel like, I'll leave that to the experts. But if you're looking for a place where you can understand these things in the most succinct and clear ways, then this is the place. Welcome. My name is Sarah, and I will be doing this with a couple of my friends who are so colorful here, and I would have them introduce themselves, and we can get to the meat of the matter for today. So directly to my right, we'll be going in that order.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'm excited to be here.
Lovely.
I'm Derek, the latest Gen Z in town.
Very doubtable, but we'll take it like that.
I'm Huzaifa. Excited to be here as well.
Great. And it's good to have you guys having this first conversation about money. And I know money isn't just limited to cash, and there are several ways by which we can look at the topic when it comes to money. It's the important being of existence. I mean, if you don't have it, and like somebody says, so what is better aside money? And that's more money. So we know how important money is. But just a quick one. When it comes to money, how do you as a person embody it or understand it or relate to the issue when it comes to money?
Okay, so I'll go first.
Sure.
You need money to survive.
Definitely.
Money is everything. So, I mean, without money, I don't think you can live comfortably, be excited, all of that. So the goal is to make a lot of money and, make more money. So,
Is money air? Oh, that's because she said you need it to survive, but is money better than air? Well, maybe that's a question for another day.
I see where Vanessa is going, and you definitely need money to survive. But I think you need meaningful money, if there's anything like that. That's where I come at it from, because everything that you want to do, there's the financial aspect of it. Like, I can't think of, even if you want to be a monk in Tibet and you are in Ghana, how do you get to Tibet in the first place? You have to go there, right? And you need money. Either someone gives you the money, either you work for it. So all your goals, be it personal, religious, if you want to be a good person in terms of religiosity, you want to give alms, you want to build a church, all of those things. Yes, you want to be charitable. That's what I'm looking for. That's not coming. You definitely need money. So I really appreciate what Vanessa is saying, that money sort of is not everything, but to facilitate the things that are important to you, you definitely need to be able to.
It's almost everything. Sometimes I am passionate about money because I have seen so many times where money stops nonsense. And it's better to be in the position to have that, to be the person to stop that nonsense.
True.
And not to allow other people who have the money to move things around. So yes, that's where I look at it from. I mean, money provides some sort of power.
Okay.
Right? And so, like if I is saying, if you have meaningful money, find money legally, ethically, but good money, you're able to do certain things. You can follow your passion, you can support, you can be very kind, you can be very generous, you can support development, you can move things within the country, you can make Ghana better.
You can move things within the country.
Yeah. And so yes, money for me is very, very important.
But how do we juxtapose it to this whole, sometimes we see the Ghanaian humble behavior and the whole concept about the love for money is the root of all evil, right? How do we... some people actually mistakenly say money is the root of all, but the actual sentence is the love for money is the root. How do we even juxtapose that so people know they're empowered to actually make their own money and be who they want to be?
Unfortunately, I've heard a lot of that come from people who don't have money.
Oh.
You don't really hear people who have money talk about. I mean, not to say that it's not. Of course, the good book says that the love for money is the root of all evil. So I agree with that. But if you have money and you are getting it meaningfully, we are not being religious here, but for what you believe in, you believe how you are getting the money is to a good for you and for your conscience, you're comfortable, then I guess you shouldn't be bothered about whether money is causing you to do certain things. Because you're getting the right way. You're fine with the way you're getting it. And you're using it to do things that are meaningful to you. Then I guess that shouldn't be a problem. It becomes a problem when because of money, for example, you are not taking care of your family. Because of money, because of their love for money or their an effort to get money, neglect other things, and neglect family, neglect partners, neglect children, and get into so many other things, are irresponsible because they're looking for money. That is where it becomes a problem.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think of money as a facilitator.
Okay.
It facilitates, and the love for money being the root of all evil is true. If it is the money that you are chasing, there's so much money to be chased in the world, right?
Yeah.
But if you are chasing money as a facilitator of your dreams, whatever you want to do, then you are looking for money in that context. And I mean, as you guys can see, I'm visibly Muslim, right? And in Islam, there's this concept of tying your camel and then looking to God, for instance. So a good Muslim is not necessarily the one who's spending all day in the mosque from dawn to dusk, praying to God for manna from heaven, right? There's the concept of, yes, give God his due, but go out there
And work.
and get some money.
Yeah.
When you get some money, you'll be able to give charity. If you are a gifter like me, I get very happy when I'm able to gift people things.
I should see you more often.
No, because it makes me happy to gift. Really. So whenever I get money, I think of more ways of making other people happy, and that enhances my life.
Great.
If you have children, you want to expose them to other activities, right? Because sometimes it's not all about traveling outside of the country, all these things. It's just expanding your family's worldview. You understand what I mean? Oh, maybe you want to take them horse riding at polo. It's an experience. You want to take them golfing. It's an experience. It swimming,
tennis,
taekwondo. I mean, you'll be surprised what these things cost. My son signed up for taekwondo, and in one term, I'm pretty sure we spent about 700 to 1,000 just on taekwondo. The other one signed up for robotics. As for that, I don't even to mention that we spent. You understand? So you don't have to. I mean, I think it's great to be ambitious, but you have to be ambitious within context of how you want your life to be, and then be able to earn and manage your money to be able to achieve those things within that space. And if you want to be like the next Bill Gates or the next Elon Musk, go for it, right?
Or the next Derek.
Definitely. The newest Gen Z on our table today.
Go for it. So I really think of money as a facilitator, and you need to be able to earn it and manage it in a way to help you facilitate the things that are important to you.
Now, I'm going to stay on that. We'll come back to that. But I just want to find out from Vanessa, since she's the real Gen Z on the panel. How's it fared in your sphere now?
Well, so honestly, I don't have too many responsibilities.
Good for you.
It's not tough. It's not tough for me. I should be wise enough to know that I should be saving a lot of the money that I make. You have a lot of people like me or friends like me who would see a friend who is genuinely from a rich home, traveling, doing all of the fancy things, and me sitting somewhere says, well, I want to live this life. And so I would move heaven and earth to make sure that I can live up to that lifestyle. But it's not wise. I don't think it is wise. You have a lot of my friends do that, but it's not wise.
Not wise.
I'd rather save more of what I earn than to spend it on a lifestyle that is in mind today. Very soon, when I get to the Huzaifa and Derek level,
and my
I'll
level
level
too.
up. Yes, exactly.
So I'm going to come back to them. But that's very good stuff over there. That when we talked about people being able to earn their money, do we think that in a country like ours, some people are already, in a way, against the odds. So they could dream and everything, but economic situations. And that's why this podcast is important, because we're going to break down all those things that you hear, the GDPs and everything that you hear in the economy. Because like everybody has said here, money isn't just the cash in your pocket. It basically runs life.
Yeah.
And everybody needs to know and understand how to own money and manage it and make something meaningful out of their lives. Yeah.
No, I mean, sometimes we wake up and ask ourselves, God, why? why did you drop here? Like, you should have moved a few degrees elsewhere.
Exactly.
But I personally believe in working within the circumstances that you find yourself, right? I think one of the biggest challenges that we have and that other people have across the world really is lack of knowledge.
Okay.
When you don't know, you do foolish things.
Yeah.
And perhaps through this podcast and through all the work that other people are doing around the space, we'll be able to teach people how to set themselves up. Because it's less about the quantum and more about the discipline, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if I'm to liken it to something like fitness that Sarah and myself are trying, we are passionate about, we try. It's less about doing so much in one day and more about learning and understanding what it takes to achieve your goals.
True.
And then being disciplined, right? Someone can be found in Ghana in very tough circumstances, and we can give them 1 million cedis and they still won't make it.
Exactly. Like the people who win the lottery, you hear that people still win and then they go broke.
They still won't make it because they don't even know what to do. But there are several stories that all of us here have heard, inspiring stories of people who grew up in certain circumstances, struggled, and made it. Yeah. What did they do?
Exactly.
Right? Some of them, it might have been, they were implementing the discipline without even understanding that this is how this works. But just by virtue of maybe divine wisdom or something, they were just doing it and it worked out for them. But if we can have these conversations, then we can set ourselves up.
True.
The other thing is that we don't start early, right? I think for Derek and myself, who are millennials on their podcast,
I am also one.
What kind of
sometimes we sit down and say, if I knew at 30, what I knew at 20, that 10-year gap
exactly
would have been something different. So I think conversations like this are really important.
True.
And I'm very happy that we are doing something like this, just so that people understand that money is a skill, just like everything else in the world. It's not by lack or, you can learn how to be fruitful in your money, regardless of how much you are spending. And there are some basic rules that once you start to apply, you yourself will start to see some changes.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Money is a skill. We're going to pin that.
We are not going to, on this podcast, going to be talking about the kind of stories where you hear someone come and say, I started with 2
cedis, one grain of rice.
Yeah, all those. I mean, we are going to a lot more real on this pod. Things we can relate with. Things that people we know personally, people that we didn't just hear, but we sort of are witnesses to their transformation or their development. On what Josefa mentioned about wishing to have known certain things 10 years ago. It's not even just 10 years ago. I was having a conversation last week, and some of the things I knew this week, right? If I knew them a month or 2 months ago, I would have made different decisions financially, right? So just to make the point about, knowledge, it doesn't end. Getting to know more, is always helpful. We are going to be learning from each other. We are going to be receiving comments from our audience, from our I don't know what we'll call them, the manarians or
the money
whatever,
matters podcast gang,
whatever we'll end up calling them. Yes.
MMG.
We'll be learning from each other. We'll be sharing ideas, we'll be sharing practical things, practical steps to take, practical actions to take. Sometimes it's something just simple. I've heard too many times where a lot of people have gone into certain situations just because they made a wrong decision. And the decision was made out of ignorance, out of sheer ignorance. Just didn't know. We are trying to avoid that, reduce the likelihood of that happening again. So that's why we are here.
Great stuff there. So that's a big reason for you to stay with us. And I'm sure the next episode will also be great. But I'm hearing saving, being wise, knowledge, consistency in several aspects of what we're saying. So let's talk about financial plans. So as a human being, you need to plan, you need knowledge. When it comes to you, Vanessa, what would you say a financial plan looks like for you in the most realist terms you could tell us? Not the save 30%, 20%, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Just have money for a rainy day.
Okay.
If I lose my job today, or if I see something I want I shouldn't have to go around asking people to give me money. I should be able to afford it.
Okay.
So that is what
someone said Beyonce was wrong when she said, I see it, I want it. I work hard and I own it. So be careful of that. Caleb, what's a financial plan to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not far from what Vanessa shared. I believe if you put your mind to something, you can do it. So as much as possible, you plan. So it's a financial plan. There's a plan. So it means that you sort of set a certain goal, you have a vision for your life. You have what you want to be able to do in 5 and 10 years. These kind of conversations would help you set realistic goals. So maybe in 2 years, in 3 years, I want to learn this skill. And this is what it will take. This is how much I'll need financially. These are the kind of people. Sometimes it's a financial plan, but all the things within the plan are not financial.
Okay.
If you understand what I'm saying. There are certain people you need to talk to.
Okay.
There are certain conversations you need to have. There are certain things you need to do, certain habits you need to build or cultivate. And those things will help you achieve those goals. So have a vision, have a clear goal, and then we'll take practical steps to achieve those things financially.
Zifa?
As for me, the first thing I'll say is save your money.
Okay.
All of these things are great, but the first skill that you need to learn is how to say no.
Okay.
Vanessa. I mean, save your money. What Vanessa said was true, right? As a person, you are working, you are earning some money. You should be able to have a nest egg, right?
Okay.
Something that you can fall on in case there's an emergency. And really, to Vanessa's point, sometimes when we talk about money and the fact that you need to save, people are like, but I need to enjoy life and all that. And I fully agree. Like, I totally agree that you need to enjoy life, but you need to have a plan.
Okay.
It's simple. It's a budget. I know you didn't want to talk about percentages, but you have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you are earning, a lot of us are living outside of our means, and that's our biggest problem. Like, it's our biggest problem. Where you stay, you can't afford the rent. Like, you have to struggle and borrow money and this before you pay your rent. That's wrong. Who cares? Right? You earn a certain amount of things.
The aesthetics.
That's the problem. So you earn a certain amount of money. You budget and say, I'm saving 30% of my income. Okay. That's it. That money goes somewhere. And then the 70% is what I'm living on. And that should determine, the other aspects of your life, not the other way around. Okay. Because your income is limited. Okay. If your income is unlimited, dear Charlie,
you can be free.
Yes, but if your income is limited, and let's say that 70% comes to 5,500, then that's your ball within which that's your pack within which you can play ball. So that will now determine, okay, what percentage is going for rent, what percentage is going for food. If your percentage that's going for food means that you can't shop at Palace, but you need to go to Makola once every 2 weeks, do that, because it's the money that I was listening to Dave Ramsey's show. Okay. I don't know if
Dave Ramsey
he talks about money a lot. And the number one way that rich people get rich is because they save their money.
Yeah.
And it's contrary. Like, you would think it's the other way around, that they would rather splurge more.
No, they save their money. That's how they became rich. And then now they can leverage those riches to do other things. If nobody is coming to, if you're not going to inherit $1 million like me, and you're not marrying into money, or, how many people win the lottery? Like, for the average person, the way that you build wealth,
it's the same.
The
The married to money, it is for both genders. Right?
Oh, yes, definitely for both genders.
You cannot
I know
marry
some
to-
men who have married into money pan.
Yeah, men are quite transactional with those things
It's,
lately.
it's late for some of us, but
Hopefully it's not late for us.
Yes,
Lovely.
like and actually a plan. As they say, we are planning. That is the plan. Yeah, but honestly, save a set percentage of your money as much as possible, and you'll be surprised. And just be consistent. Like I was saying, it's a skill.
Yeah.
Even me that I'm advising you.
Confessions.
and most people are like, these people that are talking, feel like they made it in life.
No. It's a skill that you learn and continue to build up on. Because one thing I started doing this year, which has helped me, is I used to have a budget in my head. Now I write it down.
Oh.
So I put it in Excel. And then when the salary comes, I do allocation. Then I try. But even then, once in a while, you slip.
Yeah.
Then you go back. You
Yes, but at
understand?
least it's in front of you. You see where this money went
It
in.
is
That's
so
actually. What about
eye-opening.
money spending apps too?
Apps,
We could use
yeah.
that as well.
Whatever you
Okay.
want. I just find Excel really easy.
Mhm.
I copy my expenses from the previous year,
Mhm.
create another column for
Okay.
previous month.
Month and
For the
increasing.
next month.
Yeah.
Who do I need to pay? Most of the time I'm in deficit, I do adjustments. Then you see. But for me, what has really helped me is that in that sheet,
Yeah.
the disposable income is net of my allocated saving.
Okay.
So that's the first thing that goes.
Okay.
Then now I need to fight with myself
Yeah.
on what is important.
So you save before you spend.
I save
Yeah.
if I spend. And
I see.
every month I
Mhm.
go into the next month with an unfulfilled want, if you like. Let me put it that way. So there are some things that I've been wanting to buy for like 5 months now. That every month, because I'm in a certain
Yeah.
bucket,
Mm-hmm.
when you do the prioritization, then to fall under, then it's okay. Next month, to fall under. But it helps you
Yeah.
focus on
Yeah.
what's important. Then you spend your money meaningfully. And the best part of it is that when the savings also starts to grow, it starts to be like, you're happy,
Yeah,
something is happening, and now you can
True.
do impactful things for yourself
Sure.
and your
Yeah.
family.
It's
like
like
that.
it's like any other thing. When you plan,
Mm-hmm.
it makes life more stress free,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even for last week, my wife is called Naj. Just if
Shout
I
out
use,
to
Shout out to
Naj.
if I use Naj in these episodes, I don't like saying my wife. So Naj,
Ah.
Naj.
We have to come back to her.
Naj mentioned to me last week. She was just telling me how generally it's been better for her in the last few weeks because she planned the kind of meals we eat.
Oh.
Just meals, right? She made a plan and said, oh, Monday, Tuesday, this is what we are going to eat. And it's helped her sort of. It is not financial,
That's
but
free,
because she knows what we are going to do in the next 2 weeks, this is what we are going to eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's helped her. It's the same for money.
Mm-hmm.
When there's a plan, recently something happened and then it was sort of an emergency. And because there was somewhere I could go into, like 2 or 3 months ago, a friend of mine and I started some savings goal on an app. We'll tell you about that app later.
Tell them now.
on a saving, on some, on an app. And then it was to cater for certain emergencies. And 3 months down the line, something happened. I needed money. I just
Yeah, you could
got
have
the
it
money
easy.
quickly.
Yeah.
very quickly. And
So that's
I
a good
could
thing.
imagine if I didn't have that.
Mhm.
So when you plan, it just makes things easier.
Yeah. I feel what we're saying. I've enjoyed the conversation so far that, it's about the planning, saving, ensure that you save before you spend. And these are practical things like actually tracking and not having your budget in your head
Yeah.
and not trying to live to a certain standard. And we know the season we are entering. It's a season where the splurging starts. Your company will give you maybe a 13th month bonus, but you come back to January and we say it's still hard. That's what we say. But that's what this podcast seeks to do. Today, we have had a very honest conversation. My panelists have actually told you, practically the difficulties we go through, each of us, and then what we try and overcome. But really, what I'm taking away is plan, save, and you don't need to impress the Joneses because they don't quite care about you. Now, since you're going into the festive season, we have a little sneak peek for you, but something beautiful is going to come up in our second episode. So for this first one, this introduction to Money Matters podcast, leave your comments, encourage us, suggestions, feedback so we can grow and do better. And then we will see you on the next podcast. It's going to be an awesome one as well. I trust that you would love the topic. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Don't forget to tell them to subscribe.
Subscribe, share,
share.
tell your friends
Subscribe and
about
share.
it. Let's have honest conversations about money. It's not a taboo. It's things that people need to know. And we're helping you be able to do that.
You're not going to shop. You're going to get a minimum number of likes.
Subscribe and share. Bye.
Bye.